What's up, everyone? Aaron with Backstep Outdoors with you here tonight. We're going to go back to a hunt that I had on November 8th of this past season. We're going to hit a couple of things. First thing is the deer movement that day, and then we're going to talk about wind and scent control, and then the last thing we're going to talk about real quick is just self-filming your hunts. So that morning started out really cool and cold. I saw two bucks right off the bat. Two little 6-pointers that come off of a big hay field and then drop down into the creek. And I thought that was a pretty good sign for the morning, but unfortunately didn't end up seeing any more deer during the morning sit. So the afternoon I went across the road and hunted in my river bottom spot.
Hey folks, it's the afternoon of November 8th and we ended up switching sets here. We're down in the river bottom this afternoon. This is a pretty cool setup here. You can see a long way, but it kind of pinches down right here behind us, so hopefully we can catch some of these deer just going up and down the river bottom here, just set checking. The big cornfield right here behind us is still standing, so hopefully they can get it out this upcoming week or so, but just is what it is. Still a lot of food out there for the deer, so that's one good thing. But we got a northwest wind which is hitting us right in the back of the neck here. It just blows right down into the water, so that's what we need for this stand. So hopefully we can bring you some action this afternoon.
Hadn't been set up very long, and I ended up rattling, and a nice little 10-pointer come in, probably a 2-year-old deer I would guess. And he come just walking down through the river bottom just like I would expect any deer to do, looking for a fight, you know. And he got within probably 15 yards of me, and then the wind shifted right at that exact moment, and he ended up catching my scent, stopped dead in his tracks like he hit a brick wall, and then turned around and busted back to the bedding area. So like I've talked before, I'm just a big believer in the wind and playing the wind. Like I've said, I don't do any scent control anymore. I just put my clothes on, and whatever they smell like, they smell like. So you can definitely see in this video that he catches my scent and doesn't know what the heck I am, but he doesn't like it, so he turns around and hightails it out of there. Unfortunately, I talked to my neighbor that owns that property 2 days ago, and he ended up finding that deer dead underneath a fallen log, and not sure what killed him, but he had ended up cutting his horns off. And he was a nice little deer, had a bunch of potential, but that's just the way it goes in nature sometimes. So there's plenty of deer around that I'll be able to hunt this upcoming year. So on to self-filming real quick. I filmed, this is my first year self-filming, or filming as much as I can, and I took my camera with me every single time I hunted this year, probably 25 to 30 times. And it is very difficult if you want to get anything quality. Actually, the morning of November 8th, I thought it would be cool to film my footsteps going in the dark where the ground was real frosty and crunchy, so I thought it'd be some cool B-roll footage. Ended up losing my battery to the camera. It must have just brushed up against my pants and dropped off, and actually me and Sam found the battery probably, 3 weeks ago, laying in the mud. So but you just got to have a perfect setup, and you just got to be ready to, if you want to get good footage, you got to be ready to not take shots on deer just so you can have the footage. So I'm not quite to that point yet, but eventually I might be if I get super serious into it. So, but we're going to try to bring you some of these hunts from the past year and just talk about what we learned and what we're going to do to change things in the future. So the only thing I could have done for this hunt was to set up in a different spot to where I knew that the deer wouldn't be able to win me at all, and that would have been on the edge of the cornfield, but I'm just not a real big fan of that. The corn was still standing, and I wouldn't have had really any good shots at any deer that were coming down through the river bottom. So I elected to set up closer to the water, and it worked out for the most part, except for the wind switched at that exact moment, and then The rest of the hunt was, I had perfect wind and nothing would have smelled me. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching all our episodes. Make sure you go over to Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube and give us a like or subscribe or follow along with us. And we'll catch you next time. Thanks.